Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross, and with Montel Vertadius Porter. And today on Collision or Hit, we got Father Yule here today, or, Grandfather Cold, or Santa Claus here today on Collision or Hit, Tony Schiavone says, and we will be soon going to the Survivor Series or Living Saga this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. You will see that here on the Toy Wrestling Gatherings YouTube Fairway. Tony Schiavone says it will be Team Shrek taking on Team Gunther, and we already know the folks are on Shrek's team. We have Shrek, we have Wonder Woman, we have Seth Rollins, we have Thor. On Gunther's team, we got Gunther. We have King Caesar. We have Luke Guy. And we got Chris Jericho. Well, we also got Luke Guy too. You got that right, Tony. The Survivor Series or the Living Saga coming up this week, Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day, Jim Ross says, and we'll see which one of the teams will win this year. Who will be the living this year at the Living Saga? Jim Ross says. I'll tell you one thing right now, Tony and Jim. I don't know who's going to win. I think it's sad that Bobby Lashley was left off. I think he would have been great on that team. Why he was only wrestling the Mighty Shifting Mic Keepers is beyond me. But I think it's sad that he was left off that team. Montel Vertadisport said, well, then I guess you take that up with Astronema and John Bradshaw Lakefield, because they're the ones that put that fight together, Tony Schiavone says, Montel. And we got Father Yule or Grandfather Cold in the ring. Ho, 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 and happy Yule. It is I, Santa Claus, also known as Father Yule or Grandfather Cold. And I know that it's not really Yule yet. It's still the 11th month. Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day is coming up this Thursday. But it's still one of the two busiest time of year for me. A lot of folks like to think that I only do my work between the 12th month for Western Christendom for Yule and the first month for Eastern Christendom for Yule, but that's not true. I'm doing my work all year round. I have to handle updates on the good and bad list, knowing who's awake, who's asleep, who's good, who's bad. Then the real hard work starts, because then I gotta go buy all the gifts, from shops or on websites. Because all the things that folk want these days, I cannot make it. My workers cannot make it. But the good thing is that Yule is not about me. It is about God Almighty and His Son Jesus, the healer, the freer, the teacher. It was about the greatest gift that God has ever given to all mankind and womankind, if they choose to believe it or not, is Jesus. And a lot of folks will say, well, you got nothing to do with Yule. And you're right, I don't. But you see, I bring the love, I bring the kindness, I bring the goodness, and I show that same love and that same kindness that Jesus showed everyone when He was alive. And I help keep folks happy and glee for Yule, Jesus' birthday. And I also help to let folks know that Jesus is the grounds of Yule. He's the greatest gift of all. Of all the gifts that you'll get this Yule, the greatest of all those gifts will be Jesus. Alright? And the first thing that I just want to say is I want to take this time to wish everyone the 4-1 Reichs at least a happy Thanksgiving. Everyone else around the world, I want to wish them a happy Yule, a happy gathering of lights, a happy gathering of followership. If I'm leaving out any other holy days or holidays that happen, yeah, and I don't know you're going to say Boxing Day, but I don't really know how. Yeah, well, Santa Claus, as you know, or Santa Claus, as we Neverlanders, as we Evenlander Neverlanders would call you. You know, the truth was it was taken from Dutch speech, which meant Saint Nicholas or Holy Fellow Nicholas. And yeah, that became Father Yule and Grandfather Cold and whatever. But here's something I want, and I hope you'll give it to me. You see, I want someone to pick a fight with me. I want someone to wrestle me. Now, can you do that? Well, Aleister Black, or Malachite Black, or whatever you want to call yourselves this day, I know that you're still looking for someone to pick a fight with you like you did when you were in WWE all those years. First on NXT, then on Raw, then on SmackDown before being fired, and now on AEW in your House of Black thing. But you know, I don't have any booking, any writing oversight, or slay, or might, or whatever. So, what else do you want on Yule besides wanting someone to pick a fight with you? Well, I want that Xia Li, the TWF 24/7 fighter, to pick a fight with me, to pick a match with me. Well, good luck with that then, Aleister Black, because she's only lost 3 times since she came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering since the 11th month of last year, and this month would make 1 year that she's been in the Toy Wrestling Gathering since she came from Walmart's website last year. So we got to go for it. Now, I want you to I want to bring her out now. I don't want you to go anywhere. Well, I would like to know, Tony Schiavone says, why Aleister Black, you know, is so dead set on winning or getting the TWF 24/7 winnings, which has been held by Xia Li, and Xia Li hasn't let go of that winnings since she won it, Tony Schiavone says. I mean, why would Aleister Black want her to pick a fight with him? I don't know, Tony Schiavone said. I don't know, Jim Ross said. He's got a death wish. He's crazy. He believes he can beat Xia Li. Your guess is good as mine. Well, he's got a death wish. Oh, good mind, Jim Ross said. Well, he's got a death wish. That's what he's got, Montel Arcadius Porter says. Because right next to Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns and Gunther, Xia Li's the other unbeaten, unstoppable, unyieldable wrestler or fighter. So yeah, I think Aleister Black or Malachite Black's got a death wish. You want me to pick a fight with you? Yeah, I do. And I want your TWF 24/7 winnings. You can't beat me, Aleister Black. And neither could you, Santa Claus, or Father Yule, or Grandfather Cold. You got lucky when you beat me for the TWF 24/7 winnings. And it was nothing more than a stunt when you won the WE 24/7 winnings in 2009 between FYL. That need be true. Maybe I got lucky when I beat you, Xia Li. Maybe I got lucky when I won it. But do not, do something to me that you're going to wish you didn't do. Because that's going to put you on the bad list. That's going to put you on the bad list, Xia Li. So, I just think that we should get a fight lord out here. A fight keeper out here. now we're underway now, Tony Schiavone says. And we're going to have that match between Aleister Black fighting Xia Li for the TWF 24/7 winnings, which the oversight has most likely been held off on. This match is for the TWF 24/7 winnings. First, he is from the Netherlands. He is from the Kingdom Folkrijk of the Netherlands, Aleister Black. And she is from the Folkrijk of Eastland, Xia Li. Meaning, first off, what is Aleister Black going to do? Tony Schiavone said. We know he can wrestle. We know he can fight. Oh, Aleister Black almost had the answer, Tony Schiavone said, but Xia Li just knocked him down with that kick, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Jim Ross says the wrestler, the fighter from the Netherlands, did not do very well against the fighter from Eastland, Jim Ross says. I told you, Montel Vertadius Porter says, any man or woman who wants to wrestle or fight Xia Li's got a death wish. And Xia Li just knocked down Aleister Black once again. Xia Li, who was formerly in WWE, now in TNA, and one day might be the TNA women's heavyweight fighter, Tony Schiavone says. If only if things work out for Xia Li. If, as only if that is the answer. Aleister Black knocked down Xia Li, Tony Schiavone says, with that kick. If he gets the 1-2-3 now, Jim Ross said he could win the TWF 24/7 winnings. I don't think he's going to, Montel Vertadius Porter says. I think he's blowing too much time. 1, 2, and only a kick out. Aleister Black thought he had the answer. But Xia Li just knocked him out. That's it. It's over. Xia Li has knocked out many wrestlers in her time in WWE, on NXT, on SmackDown, on Raw, and now her time in TNA, on Impact or Hit. Tony Schiavone said it's over. Yeah, you could reckon forever, and he's not getting up from that, Jim Ross says. It's over, Tony Schiavone said. Xia Li's going to be the winner. Yeah, Montel Vertadius Porter says, thanks for coming, Aleister Black. And you are only another beating of Xia Li. 1, 2, 3. Ding-a-ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF, here is your winner, and still the TWF 24/7 fighter, Xia Li. And Xia Li is still the TWF 24/7 fighter, Tony Schiavone says. I mean, Aleister Black did put up a good fight. He came as near beating Xia Li in any of the matches he's had with her. But sadly, Xia Li got the upper hand on him, Tony Schiavone says. Yes, that is true. Jim Ross said Xia Li, Aleister Black was very near beating Xia Li, but it didn't happen, but he put up a good fight. Well, like I told you, Jim Ross said, like I told you, Montel, like I say, Aleister Black, Malachite Black, whatever you want to call him, he wants a death wish when he went up against Xia Li. And he just showed that he was nothing more than a loser, and Xia Li is the winner, Montel Vertadius Porter says. All right, we'll take it away now to Michael Cole, Tony Schiavone says. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Xia Li here today on Impact, here today on Collision or Hit. All right, Xia Li, we all know that you're now in AEW now, and you were formerly in WWE, but you're still the TWF 24/7 fighter. Yes, I am, Michael Cole. I'm still the TWF 24/7 fighter. And everyone thought they could take it from me. Aleister Black thought he could take it from me. I mean, yeah, he's a former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. He beat Andrade Cien and lost it to Tommaso Ciampa. And yes, he went on from NXT to Raw, didn't do much. SmackDown didn't do much. Now he's in AEW, whatever, House of Black, whatever bullshit. But he didn't beat me. And it's true, my time in WWE wasn't the greatest. I did some good things on NXT, then I went to SmackDown. When I went to Raw, I almost had my seek to become the WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter. First with Becky Lynch, then with Lila Valkyria. Things didn't work out. I got let go from WWE. Now I'm in TNA. But anyway, I'm still a TWF 24/7 fighter. And Aleister Black, Malachite Black, I don't care. I beat him. And I'm still the TWF 24/7 fighter. Well, Xia Li, how does it feel for being one whole year day of being in the toy wrestling gathering? Since it was this month last year that you came to the toy wrestling gathering from Walmart's website. It feels great to be one whole year in the toy wrestling gathering, doesn't it? But it's not going to mean good because my 2023 and 2024 WoW were great. My 2025 WoW's going to be even more greater too. And I'll still be beating men and women. There still is no wrestler, no fighter, no overstar who can beat me, man or woman. Well, that's my talk with Xia Li. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with Xia Li here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got it for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Montel Ricadius Porter. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw or Moon Day Night Raw.